Trump is ready to pimp his ride. In an interview with CBS News, U.S. President Donald Trump confirmed that he will redesign the presidential plane Air Force One into a more patriotic color scheme. CBS reports that the White House announced in February Trump had negotiated a $3.9 billion fixed-price contract with Boeing for the Boeing 747-8 planes to be used as the new presidential aircraft, commonly known as Air Force One. In an interview with CBS, Trump said he was able to save the country $1.5 billion and order a new one. This came as a response after his 2016 tweet about the cost of the new planes being out of control, more than $4 billion. Currently, the president's suite and office are housed at the very front of the aircraft. In the event of an emergency, Air Force One has a staff doctor and houses a medical suite that can function as an operating room at a moment's notice. Air Force One also has quarters for those who accompany the president, including traveling press who sit in the rear of the plane. As it is able to refuel mid-air, Air Force One effectively has unlimited range and can stay up in the air indefinitely. As part of its advanced security systems, the jet is equipped with chaff and flare dispensers that allow it to evade enemy missiles. Trump plans to redesign the aircraft exterior with the iconic American flag color setting, the red, white, and blue. The redesigned plane should be a nice addition to the president's souped-up car. The new presidential vehicle is expected to sport styling elements similar to Cadillac's CT6 sedan. Known as Cadillac One, or by the Secret Service as the Beast, it will use a Kodiak medium-duty truck frame with custom-made body panels. The 7-seat interior is sealed to protect against a biological or chemical attack, with windows that can withstand armor-piercing bullets. The current edition of the Beast has a 20-centimeter thick heavy armor-plated doors and reinforced steel plate running underneath the vehicle to protect it from roadside bombs. The presidential limousine has tear gas cannons and a night vision camera, as well as a pump-action shotgun. Extra weapons, an oxygen supply, and bottles of the president's blood type are also on board. The fuel tank is armor-plated and encased in foam to prevent it from exploding. The Kevlar-reinforced tires are puncture and shard-resistant, with steel rims that allow the car to continue driving if the tires are destroyed. Trump said the current Air Force One is 30 years old and the new planes will likely be utilized more by the presidents who follow him. He also announced that he is making changes to the plane's interior, including an increase in the size of the beds, complaining they were smaller than those on his own private jet. We know a lot about airplanes. They're expensive.
Airbus to offer luxury pods and cargo holds by 2020. If you're going to travel in the cargo hold, you may as well go in style. Airbus has announced plans with Zodiac Aerospace to develop modular compartments that are easily interchangeable with cargo containers in their A330 widebody planes by 2020. The spaces will be separate from the economy and business class seating areas. Passengers will be able to book sleeping compartments, meeting rooms, lounges, and children's play areas. Each of the areas fits inside a container that can be inserted into the cargo hold like traditional cargo. Pods could be removed and changed in about a day. Depending on the model of the A330, 3 or 4 cabins could fit into an aircraft.
These seats cannot get any smaller. Airline seat sizes may be getting regulated, finally, after years of shrinking legroom, passenger complaints, and safety concerns. Nonprofit group Flyer Rights claims the width and pitch of plane seats have been narrowing since the early 2000s, with airlines sacrificing space to increase the number of seats. Some are concerned that cramped cabins may impact passenger evacuation during an emergency, which should take only 90 seconds. To address this, a provision in the recently passed FAA reauthorization bill requires the agency to set minimum seat size standards and to do so within the year. This is expected to greatly improve passenger wellness and maybe help reduce air rage incidents since people aren't feeling as cramped up or claustrophobic. But experts say airlines intent on cutting costs could do so by reducing padding or taking out standard features like tray tables. Alternatively, they could also raise prices. No one currently knows what the minimum seat size would look like, but they can't get any worse than what's in the planes now. American Airlines will debut smaller bathrooms for their new aircraft. Miami News reports that American Airlines is shrinking bathrooms for its North American flights. Smaller bathrooms will be installed on the new Boeing 737 MAX airplanes, with each bathroom being just 24 inches wide. KHON reports American Airlines also plans to decrease its front-to-back space between economy class by another 2 inches. American Airlines commented that the new airplanes will have 172 seats compared to previously having 160 seats. The airline had previously been in the news for shrinking its overhead bins. AA has reportedly been receiving a lot of negative feedback from travel bloggers, frequent flyers, and even flight attendants. For now, the new single-aisle aircraft will be in use starting later this year and will be flown mainly in North America. It couldn't have been handled another way? A Nigerian woman is suing United Airlines after she claims she and her family were unjustly kicked off a flight in 2016. Queen Obioma and her kids were flying from Lagos, Nigeria to Ontario when they encountered trouble on the Houston to San Francisco leg of their trip. Obioma, who was in business class while the kids were in economy, found a white man in her seat. He refused to move despite repeated requests, so she sat in his spot. The man got up as soon as she sat down, allegedly beelining straight for the captain to complain about Obioma's pungent smell. When she came back from the bathroom, the man blocked her from getting to her seat. She eventually managed to squeeze past him, only to have an attendant ask her to step outside. He told her she was being booted off because the white passenger couldn't stomach her ode de Nigeria. She explained she was traveling with her children and they had important school appointments, only to have her kids escorted off the plane too. The family waited 5 more hours before the next flight, which meant missed appointments and more money down the drain. While United is actually allowed to throw out allegedly smelly passengers, Obioma is crying racial discrimination, claiming she was singled out and punished because of her black skin. Something definitely smells foul. We're just not sure if it's United, Obioma, the white man, or all 3. What do you think? Southwest passenger loses it. Remember the days when you could light up on the plane? Tell it to Valerie Curbelo. The 24-year-old was on a Southwest flight from Portland to Sacramento on Saturday when she started itching for a square. Only problem, the plane was in mid-flight. Curbelo went into the bathroom and actually tried to tamper with the smoke detector. That's always a good idea. When other passengers and crew discovered Curbelo was trying to smoke, they busted into the bathroom and pulled her out. The 24-year-old was ordered back to her seat, and that's when she lost it. She started yelling, ripped an oxygen mask from the ceiling, and started threatening to off everyone on board and demanding the plane land. Curbelo also shoved a flight attendant and had to be physically restrained for the remainder of the flight. She was arrested at the gate and transported to Sacramento County Jail. She was charged with making criminal threats.